A divine countdown has begun, and whether you realized it or not, your soul felt the shift before your mind did. When heaven sets a timer on a blessing, it is never random. It is never rushed, and it is never delayed. Every second that passes has meaning, and every moment leading you to the arrival of this blessing is part of a carefully orchestrated divine rhythm. The angels reveal that this blessing has been traveling toward your life for far longer than you imagine. What feels sudden to you has been unfolding in the spiritual realm, piece by piece, sign by sign, alignment by alignment. And now, with only a small window remaining, the final stage has begun to open around you. The first thing the angels want you to understand is that this countdown is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create awareness. A divine blessing requires your participation, your readiness, and your energetic alignment. That is why you feel sensations, heaviness, anticipation, or even unexplained emotion rising within you. Your inner world is preparing for what your outer world has not yet seen. Imagine a blessing traveling through layers of reality, breaking through obstacles, clearing pathways, moving through spiritual weather, all to reach you. Every prayer you whispered, every moment you held on when you wanted to give up, and every tear you shed in silence formed the magnetic pull that brought this blessing closer. Heaven does not ignore what the human heart endures. In fact, the more you fought through, the faster your blessing accelerated toward you. And now, as the countdown nears its end, heaven needs you to understand the importance of these final hours. The angels reveal that the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting. You may feel moments of sudden clarity, unusual calmness, or emotional release. You may sense a lifting of weight from your shoulders, or sudden insight into something that has felt confusing for weeks. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual signals that your path is being cleared for the arrival of new energy. A blessing cannot enter where the old is still taking up space. That is why the angels are urging you to release anything that feels heavy, stagnant, or outdated. These final moments are about making room. There is also a reason the timing is precise. In the spiritual realm, timing is not measured in minutes or hours. It is measured in alignment, energy, and readiness. But sometimes, heaven compresses those spiritual dynamics into a human countdown, so your conscious mind becomes aware of the urgency your soul already feels. This is one of those moments. You are being asked to step into full awareness, not passively wait. When a blessing approaches with this level of intensity, your own energy becomes the key that unlocks it fully. The first sign that the countdown has activated is an inner stirring, a sense that something is shifting even if you cannot explain why. This stirring may manifest as restlessness, excitement, pressure, or even sudden waves of emotion. Many people think something is wrong when they feel this, but the angels say the opposite is true. This internal movement is the spiritual equivalent of a door unlocking. It is the sign that what you asked for is approaching the physical realm. Another sign is synchronicity. Repeating numbers, symbolic dreams, unexpected memories surfacing, or hearing phrases that feel directed toward you, all are indicators that heaven is aligning your awareness. The closer the blessing gets, the clearer the signs become, because your intuition strengthens in anticipation. The angels send these signs not to confuse you, but to confirm that the countdown is real and active. You may also feel a shift in your relationships or environment. Some people may distance themselves from you during this period. Some opportunities may pause. Some emotions you thought were resolved may surface again. This is not regression. This is preparation. When something new arrives, anything misaligned is naturally removed. You are not losing anything meant for the blessing that is coming. Instead, you are being rearranged so you can receive it without interference. The angels emphasize something important. As the countdown moves forward, your mindset becomes a magnet. What you believe, what you expect, and what you emotionally prepare for will influence how the blessing arrives. If you doubt yourself, the blessing may enter quietly. If you trust, it may enter boldly. If you fear, it may hesitate. But if you stand in readiness, it will land with full force, shaping your timeline into something brighter than before. This part of the journey is about presence. It is about being awake and attentive. You are not meant to drift through these final hours. You are meant to participate in them with clarity, with awareness, and with intention. You have been waiting for this blessing, but the blessing has been waiting for you, too, waiting for your readiness, your openness, your willingness to step into a new version of yourself. The angels want you to understand one more essential truth. You are not racing against time, you are aligning with it. The countdown is not a threat. It is a sacred preparation window. You are not being rushed into anything you are not ready for. You are being guided into something your soul has been longing for. The reason you are hearing this message now is because the final stage has begun, and heaven needs you to be aware. As these final hours unfold, more signs will appear. You will feel the presence of guidance around you. Your intuition will sharpen. Your emotions may intensify as old layers break away. All of this is part of the shift. You are stepping into a frequency where your blessing can finally land without interference or resistance. This is the beginning of the final approach. The blessing is near, the shift is active, and the countdown is real. As the countdown continues, the spiritual pressure around you intensifies not as a burden, but as a sign that the blessing is now close enough to influence your emotional, mental, and energetic states. Heaven wants you to understand that this pressure is a precursor to breakthrough. Many people misinterpret this phase, believing something is collapsing, when in truth, something is opening. The closer the blessing moves, the more the old energy begins to loosen, crack, and fall away. This period may feel strange, unsteady, or emotionally charged, but the angels assure you that every sensation is part of the alignment. One of the most common experiences during this stage is emotional fluctuation. You might feel hopeful one moment and uncertain the next. You may feel unusually sensitive or suddenly reflective about past choices. You may have memories resurfacing, some joyful, some painful, seemingly without reason. This is because your emotional field is recalibrating. Old emotions that no longer match the energy of the incoming blessing are rising so they can be released. Nothing from your past is reappearing to hurt you. It is reappearing so it can finally leave you. Another signal during the active countdown is the acceleration of intuition. You may find yourself knowing things before they happen, sensing people's intentions more clearly, or feeling a strong pull toward or away from specific decisions. This intuitive expansion is intentional. The blessing you are moving toward requires you to trust your inner guidance more than ever. The angels are strengthening this part of you so you can navigate the shift gracefully. Your intuition becomes the compass that points you toward what the blessing is preparing in your life. Physical sensations may also appear, and these are often signs of energetic adjustment. You may feel warmth in your hands or chest, tingling in your scalp or spine, or sudden waves of calm. You may even feel a heaviness lifting from your body. These sensations are not random. They occur because your nervous system is adjusting to hold more light, clarity, and spiritual alignment. A blessing, especially a large one, carries a frequency higher than your current state. Your body must expand energetically before it can receive it fully. During this stage, you might also notice areas of your life rearranging in ways you did not expect. Plans may change suddenly. People might withdraw or reappear in surprising ways. Opportunities you thought were frozen may start moving, while others may pause without warning. This is not chaos. This is divine reorganization. Sometimes heaven moves obstacles out of your way by removing distractions. Sometimes heaven prepares space by pausing what no longer aligns. And sometimes heaven brings something forward prematurely because you are more ready than you realize. Each shift is purposeful. It is also common to experience moments of silence from the universe during this countdown. You may feel like everything around you becomes unusually quiet, almost as if time slows down. This silence is sacred. It is the stillness before activation. When heaven prepares a blessing to enter your timeline, there is often a brief pause in the spiritual atmosphere. This pause allows your energy to settle and ensures that you receive the blessing clearly, without interference from noise, confusion, or mixed emotions. Do not interpret silence as abandonment. It is preparation. As the last portion of the countdown approaches, you may feel drawn toward introspection. You might start asking yourself questions you haven't asked in years. What do I truly want? What am I ready to release? What kind of life feels aligned with my soul? Who am I becoming? These questions appear because the blessing approaching your life will place you in a new chapter, and heaven wants you to be conscious of who you are as you enter it. A blessing becomes stronger, more fertile, and more transformative when it lands on a soul that knows itself. This is your opportunity to gain clarity, to identify what matters, and to let go of what no longer fits the person you are becoming. The angels also want you to know that fear may arise in the final stages. Not because something is wrong, but because your mind is reacting to change your soul has already accepted. Fear is the mind's attempt to protect you from the unknown, but the unknown is exactly where your blessing is waiting. When fear appears, see it as evidence that change is near. Fear is the shadow cast by approaching light. When you feel it, breathe deeply and affirm that you are safe, guided, and supported. You are not stepping into darkness. You are stepping into illumination. During this phase, it is important to stay grounded. The angels encourage you to take slow breaths, drink water, rest when needed, and keep your heart open. Grounding allows your energy to stay stable as the spiritual frequency around you increases. A grounded person receives more clearly, acts more wisely, and aligns more effortlessly. Your grounding is your anchor in the rising tide of transformation. You may also experience unexpected opportunities or conversations during this period. Someone may reach out to you. A new idea may enter your mind. A door you thought was closed may suddenly open. These moments are previews of the blessing approaching your life. Heaven often sends signals through people, thoughts, and unexpected moments to prepare you for what the blessing requires. Pay attention to anything that feels new, inspiring, or aligned. It may be part of the arrival. Another important aspect of this phase is your ability to detach from outcomes. The blessing coming your way is shaped by divine intelligence, not by human limitation. It may arrive differently than you planned, but it will arrive exactly as you need. When you release rigid expectations, you give heaven the freedom to exceed them. The angels want to deliver the highest version of what you prayed for, not the limited version you imagined. Surrender opens that door. The angels emphasize that gratitude amplifies the blessing during these final hours. Even if nothing seems different yet, gratitude raises your frequency and pulls the blessing closer. Gratitude is a declaration that you trust the process, even when you cannot see the result. And trust accelerates manifestation. The more you lean into trust, the faster the countdown moves, and the more powerfully the blessing enters. As you move through this phase of the countdown, focus on being open, receptive, and aligned. This is not the time to shrink back into fear or doubt. This is the time to stand at the threshold of your new timeline with belief, courage, and readiness. The blessing is coming. The shift is active, and you are being prepared to receive it in full. As the countdown moves into its final stretch, the spiritual momentum surrounding your blessing becomes unmistakably strong. You may feel as though life is subtly but undeniably rearranging itself around you. Things that once felt fixed may suddenly loosen, while things that were distant may begin moving closer. This is the energetic signature of a blessing preparing to cross into the physical world. Heaven is not simply sending something to you. It is positioning your entire reality so that you can receive it without resistance, confusion, or delay. During this phase, the angels emphasize one core truth. Your blessing is intelligent. It does not move randomly. It does not arrive inconveniently. It does not come at a time you are unprepared. Instead, it waits for a moment when your energy is open, your heart is receptive, and your timeline is aligned. That is why certain events may shuffle unexpectedly now. You are being placed in the right emotional and spiritual position for the blessing to land safely. One of the clearest signs of this stage is the sensation of internal unlocking. You may feel a shift within you that is subtle yet profound, like a door opening inside your chest or a knot untying deep in your spirit. This feeling may arrive after a moment of clarity, after a release of emotion, or even after a simple thought that feels different from anything before. This unlocking signals that the blessing has reached the final barrier and is preparing to fully enter your experience. You may also notice that your priorities begin to shift. Things you once cared deeply about may feel less important, while new desires or ideas may rise within you. This internal shift happens because your energy is adjusting to match the frequency of the incoming blessing. For example, if the blessing involves emotional connection, you may feel more open-hearted. If it involves financial opportunity, you may feel more motivated or confident. If it involves healing, you may suddenly feel ready to release old wounds. Your internal world is mirroring the energy of what is approaching. Relationships may also shift at this stage. You might feel drawn closer to certain people or feel distance from others. This is not a judgment of their worth. It is a reflection of alignment. Your blessing vibrates at a certain spiritual frequency, and people who match that frequency will naturally feel closer to you now. Those who do not will drift gently away, often without conflict, simply because your energies are diverging. This can feel unsettling, but it is a sign of progress, not loss. Dreams often become more intense or symbolic during this time. You may dream of doors, crossroads, messages, or people you haven't seen in years. Dreams are one of the most direct ways your soul communicates with you while the blessing is reorganizing your path. Pay attention to any dreams that feel emotionally charged or unusually vivid. These dreams often carry clues about what the blessing will address or unlock in your life. Another key sign of this phase is increased synchronicity. You might see repeating numbers such as 111, 222, 555, or 1111. You may overhear conversations that echo your thoughts. You may repeatedly encounter the same word, symbol, or concept. These synchronicities act as spiritual markers, showing you that heaven is actively guiding you through the final moments of the shift. They confirm that you are in alignment, that the countdown is real, and that the blessing is truly in motion. Emotionally, you may feel a blend of anticipation and vulnerability. This combination is natural. Anticipation comes from your soul, recognizing that something big is approaching. Vulnerability comes from your mind adjusting to the unknown. Blessings do not only give, they also transform, and transformation requires openness. This vulnerability is actually proof that you are expanding. It shows that you are preparing to hold more love, more clarity, more abundance, or more purpose than before. The angels want you to be gentle with yourself during this stage. You are undergoing a profound internal upgrade, even if your external world looks unchanged. Rest when your body asks for rest. Reflect when your mind feels reflective. Stay present with your emotions. The countdown is not only about timing, it is about attunement. The more attuned you become to yourself, the more seamlessly the blessing will integrate when it arrives. This phase may also bring unexpected moments of peace, even in the middle of uncertainty. You might notice a strange calm settling over you, as if a quiet voice inside is saying, "Everything is unfolding exactly as it should." This calm is the presence of divine guidance. It is a sign that the angels are close, that your blessing is near, and that your soul is stepping into a state of trust powerful enough to shift your timeline completely. You may also feel called to take small actions you cannot logically explain. You may feel the urge to clean your space, organize your thoughts, reconnect with someone, start a new project, or let go of something outdated. These impulses are not random. They are intuitive nudges guiding you toward alignment. Heaven often requires you to take small steps to symbolically open the door for the blessing's full arrival. Financial or career shifts may also arise during this period. A new opportunity may appear. A delayed response may suddenly move forward. Or you may be redirected away from something that no longer aligns with your future path. Whatever changes occur, trust that they are being orchestrated to support the incoming blessing. Heaven never removes without replacing. If something leaves now, it is because the new energy requires open space. Relationships with family, partners, or friends may surface with emotional clarity. Issues you've ignored may become important to address. Conversations you avoided may suddenly feel necessary. Or healing may emerge between you and someone you care about. This is because blessings often bring emotional elevation, and you cannot step into this elevation while holding unresolved weight. The blessing aligns your heart as much as your circumstances. You may also notice that your manifestations begin accelerating. Things you think about may show signs of appearing more quickly. You may receive unexpected confirmation of intentions you set long ago. This acceleration happens because your energetic field is becoming magnetized by the approaching blessing. It is pulling other aligned experiences toward you at the same time. In this stage of the countdown, Heaven wants you to focus on clarity. Ask yourself, what am I ready to receive? What am I no longer willing to carry? What version of me is the blessing being delivered to? These questions illuminate the inner adjustments needed for full alignment. Blessings do not arrive to the version of you who is struggling. They arrive to the version of you who endured, grew, and evolved through the struggle. As the final stretch of the countdown intensifies, trust that every sensation, every shift, and every sign is part of the divine orchestration. Nothing is random, nothing is accidental. The blessing is closing in, and you are being shaped to receive it in its fullest form. The timeline is aligning, and your destiny is awakening. As the countdown reaches its final moments, the energy around your life becomes unmistakably charged. You may feel as though something invisible is standing just beyond the edge of your awareness, close enough to touch, yet not fully revealed. This is the final phase before the blessing crosses into your physical reality. It is the point where heaven has already completed its part, and now your alignment becomes the final key. These last energetic adjustments are not random. They are essential, intentional, and deeply sacred. One of the first things you may notice during these final moments is an intensification of clarity. Thoughts that once felt scattered may suddenly align. Confusion you have carried for weeks, months, or even years may begin dissolving in small waves. You may feel a surprising sense of direction, even if you cannot yet explain why. This clarity is not coming from your logical mind. It is coming from your soul recognizing that the blessing is about to arrive. Your inner guidance strengthens because you will need this clarity to properly receive what is coming. You may also feel a surge of emotional release. Tears may come unexpectedly. You might feel a heaviness lifting from your chest or a sudden desire to forgive, let go, or move forward. Emotional release at this stage is a final cleansing away of clearing all remaining barriers. The blessing you have been waiting for cannot land on a heart still carrying old wounds. So your soul begins cleaning itself, sometimes without warning. This release is not a breakdown. It is a breakthrough preparing to happen. In this final phase, your intuition becomes louder than ever. You may hear internal guidance more clearly, feel stronger nudges toward certain actions, or sense a powerful inner yes or no about situations around you. This heightened intuition is not imagination, it is divine alignment. The blessing carries a frequency, and your intuition helps you match it. When the blessing arrives, your intuitive clarity will help you recognize it instantly, rather than overlooking or misinterpreting it. You may also notice a shift in your environment. People may speak words that feel unusually meaningful. Signs may appear back-to-back repeating numbers, symbols, or reminders of things you prayed for. Your surroundings may feel strange or heightened, almost like the world is subtly rearranging itself. This shift is real. The physical world often responds to spiritual momentum. When a blessing is seconds away from landing, reality bends slightly to make room for it. During this time, the angels emphasize the importance of staying present. The final moments before manifestation are delicate. Doubt, fear, and impatience can disrupt alignment. But trust, calmness, and gratitude amplify it. Presence allows you to feel the blessing approach, rather than pushing against it with worry. The angels encourage you to breathe deeply, stay grounded, and hold space for what is arriving. Think of this phase as opening your hands and keeping them open. Another powerful sign in this stage is the reappearance of certain desires, dreams, or visions. Things you once longed for may return to your mind with clarity and purpose. These resurfacing desires are not random. They are connected to the blessing. Heaven is showing you what part of your soul will be activated when the blessing arrives. Often, the desire that resurfaces in these final moments is the one the blessing will fulfill or expand. Pay attention to what is calling you now. Your relationships may also reflect the shift. Some people may suddenly uplift you, speak truth into your life, or offer support. Others may fall silent, withdraw, or create distance. Both are signs of alignment. The people who move closer now are part of your new timeline. Those who fade into the background are part of the timeline you are leaving. This is not loss. It is energetic reorganization. A blessing cannot enter through a tangled web of outdated connections. The final phase often reorganizes your circle without your intervention. You may also experience subtle moments of déjà vu or familiarity, like you've been here before or felt this moment already. This sensation occurs because your soul remembers what your human mind does not. The blessing you are approaching may be something your spirit has known about long before your physical self became aware. Déjà vu is a signal that you are stepping into a moment your soul recognizes from divine timing. Another important aspect of this stage is the rise of courage. Even if fear appears briefly, you may feel stronger, braver, or more ready than before. The blessing requires a version of you who can hold it, protect it, and step fully into it. Heaven strengthens your courage so you can walk forward with confidence. If you suddenly feel more capable, more bold, or more willing to take a leap, this is not ego, it is preparation. In these final moments, you may also feel as though time is behaving strangely. Hours may pass quickly or slowly. Moments may feel stretched or compressed. This is because spiritual timing and physical timing are syncing. When alignment peaks, time feels different. It is part of the energetic bridge forming between the blessing's spiritual form and its physical arrival. Finally, you may experience a profound sense of trust, even without proof. A quiet knowing that something is about to change. A deep internal certainty that the waiting is ending. This sense of trust is not accidental. It is a sign that your soul has aligned with the blessing completely. Once trust sets in, the manifestation becomes inevitable. Trust completes the countdown. As you stand in this final hour, the angels want you to hold on to these truths. 1. Nothing is being delayed. Everything is aligning. What feels slow is actually precise timing. 2. Nothing is falling apart. Things are falling into place. What seems chaotic is divine reorganization. 3. Nothing is being taken from you. You are being prepared to receive more. Anything leaving now is making space for what is arriving. 4. You are not waiting alone. Heaven is waiting with you. Your blessing has not been forgotten. It has been guided. The moment the countdown reaches 0 is the moment your timeline shifts. The blessing may arrive through a conversation, an opportunity, an idea, a call, a message, a realization, or a sudden opening. However it arrives, you will recognize it instantly. because it will feel like something inside you says, yes, this is the moment everything changes. You stand now at the threshold of a divine intersection, where preparation meets destiny, where faith meets form, where the unseen becomes visible. When the final second strikes, the blessing will not just enter your life, it will reshape it. This is the final breath before breakthrough, the moment before the door opens, the last quiet second before your new timeline begins.